Hare Krishna, International Society for Krishna Consciousness welcomes you to the day 6, session 6 of 18 days, 18 session, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And today we are going to speak from chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, which is entitled as Dhyana Yoga. So let us get into it. In this chapter, Krishna is one step ahead, is always ahead, but he does not wait for Arjuna to ask question. He himself tells Arjuna, yes, Arjuna, you should take up this process. You should understand the human life is meant to purify the mind, and there are many ways to purify the mind. Chetodarpan marjanam. There are many ways, giving donation, austerities, yajnas, and the best way is to go to a spiritual master. Take that divine knowledge, which you were asking in chapter 2, second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, slok number 7, Karpanya doshupata sabhava prichamitam dharma samoda chetaha. So that divine knowledge, when you get, you can cut the greatest enemy, which is covering our reality, the real identity, that is lust. Cut the eternal enemy called as lust, that divine knowledge. And that was explained in chapter 3. And to get that divine knowledge, one should surrender unto a bona fide spiritual master coming in the disciplinic session. Tad vidhi pranipatina pariprashtina sevaya, that was explained in chapter 4. And in chapter 5, and in chapter 5, it has been mentioned that by this divine knowledge, we can understand within the body there is soul. Within the body there is soul and soul, and outside the body and within the body there is Krishna, the Bhokta Ramega Tapasam. So in this way, Krishna is explaining with this divine knowledge, we can purify our mind. And now Arjuna has another doubt which Krishna is understanding. Sometimes we know about ourselves, but Krishna knows everything about us. Yeah, Arjuna is still having a doubt, but thinks that he has no doubts. But Krishna knows that he will again talk about sannyas. There are three types of sannyas: karma sannyas, gyan sannyas, and dhyan sannyas. So Ashtang Yoga also leads to sannyas. So these, and there is a bhakti sannyas. So Ashtang Yoga sannyas is still that go to the forest and do something. So Krishna immediately removes the ghost of his doubt that he wants to take sannyas, because in Ashtanga Yoga the mind has to be controlled. There will be a time when Arjuna says, oh, this process is difficult, I cannot control the mind. That's it. So we are in phase 1, advancement in Ashtanga Yoga, Aruksha to Arudha, slok number 1 to 9. So this is a beautiful this thing. So for better understanding and easy assimilation of the subject matter, we will have this chapter in different phases. So Krishna is now going to say Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Whenever we hear Shri Bhagavan Vacha, whenever Vyasmuni says Shri Bhagavan Vacha, it means Shri means beautiful. Beautiful Bhagavan says. Bhagavan means the most important person. When an important person speaks, we pay attention. But Krishna is the most important person, so we should pay the most best of our attention. Anashrita karma phalam karyam karma karotiya sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnir na cha akriya Arjuna, one who is unattached to the fruits of the work and who works as he is obligated, is a true yogi and a sannyasi. Sannyasi is not just a dress and stay far away from residence. Not he who not lights fire or performs no duty. Unattached to the fruits of work. Yeah. Oh, Vasudev. I have heard that sannyasi means to give up work and being situated in knowledge, whereas yoga means fixing the mind on one point devoid of sense gratification. How is it that you say both sannyasi and a yogi is same Krishna? Huh. Krishna says, Krishna says, yeah, and Krishna brings out the fact by saying, Yam sannyasam iti prahur yogam tam vidi pandava nahi asanyasta kalpo yogi bhavatu kashana. Prahur means said, Vidhi means knows. So Krishna says, sannyasi means to giving up the fruits of activities. And yoga means freeing one's mind from the desires of sense gratification. Therefore, the words sannyas and yoga means the same thing. Do you understand that, Arjuna? We give up fruits of activities only when we don't have any desire for sense gratification. So yoga and sannyas means the same. Krishna, must the Ashtanga yogi perform Nishkam Karma as long as he lives? Or is there a limit? Tell me, Krishna, what should a sannyasi do? When should a person take sannyas? Yeah. So there are two levels of Ashtanga Yoga. One is called the Aruraksha, that is the beginning stage, and one is Aruda, one is already situated. So this is explained in slok number 3 and 4 by Krishna. Arurakshormuniryogam karma karanam uchyate yoga arudasya taseva samakaranam uchyate. For those who are new in Ashtanga Yoga system, Nishkam Karma is said to be the means. He will work to purify his mind, and when he's purified in the mind, he will do yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratihara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi. And one who is purified his mind with Nishkam Karma Yoga, one is ready in the elevated yoga cessation of karma. He need not work. Is said to be the means. So, yes, one has to work till the mind gets purified. Yada hi nain indriya arteshu na karmasha anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudha taduchyate. A person whose mind is purified is elevated in yoga when he has given up all the attachment for the objects of senses and work and the work to obtain them. So when mind is purified, he does not do any work because it's mind, Arjuna, it's mind which is the cause of bondage, and it's the mind which is cause of liberation. It's all the game of mind. So, Arjuna, understand that the best way to control mind is already told to you, that is in the 4th chapter, surrender to a spiritual master. But you still have that ghost of doubt to take sannyas. So understand what is Ashtanga Yoga and understand whether you will be able to do it, or the people who follow you will be able to do it. Mind is both friend and enemy. Arjuna is being explained by Krishna very nicely in slok 5 and 6 of this chapter. Udaridatmana natmanam avasadayata atma eva hi atmano bandhur atma eva ripur atmanam. In order to purify the heart, one must deliver himself with that type of mind, not to degrade. Especially this human body is not meant to degrade ourselves for food, for shelter, producing children or protecting ourselves. Mind, when it is controlled, when it's purified, is our friend, and mind, when it is not controlled, is not our friend. Arjuna, so please understand this. So the gain is to purify the mind. Bandhur atmanastasya ena atma eva atmana jitah anatmanastu satrutve vartet atma eva satruva. For one who has conquered the mind, mind is the best friend, best of friends. For one who has purified his mind, mind is the best of friends. And but for one who has not purified his mind, who has failed to do so, mind will remain his greatest enemy. Arjuna, learn to control the mind. The whole game of Ashtanga Yoga, the whole game of Bhakti Yoga, the whole game of Karma Yoga, the whole game of Sakam Karma Yoga, the whole game of Nishkam Karma Yoga is to purify the mind, Arjuna. The subtle body, Arjuna. The mind, intelligence, false ego has to be purified to understand I am so, to take the benefit of the happiness which is which is which is understanding and living in the spiritual realm as a soul. Symptom of a person who is Yog Aruda is very nicely explained. One who has controlled his mind is explained in slok number 7, 8, and 9. He is called Jitatmana. He has conquered his mind. Jitatmanah prasantasya param atma samahitah sita ushna sukha dukkeshu tataman apamana yo. He is a Jitatma. He is one who has conquered the mind. Is Shanta, means is satisfied. He is peaceful. Prashanta means is extremely peaceful. And Param Atma Samahitah, and he has reached the super soul, and he is able to talk with the super soul. He is able to see the super soul. He can see the beautiful smile in the face of the super soul. He can see the wonderful spiritual body of the Sachidananda Vigra Swarup of the super soul, Paramatma. And such a person has got so much happiness. He's not bothered about the pain external pains due to cold and heat, and internal pain of the mind, that is favorable and unfavorable condition, is not even disturbed by man apaman, like we were discussing about the story of that wonderful farmer, yeah, whose horse and the villagers came, oh, how bad, how sorry, how you lost your horse. He said, whatever happens, happens for good. Whatever the Lord does, does for good. Then that's a foolish man. He should be affected by this. But we see that again after 14 days, the horse has come. And he says, wow, you are so lucky. Then again he says, whatever happened, happened for good. Hey, this fellow is not excited. Hey. So he's so if this goes on and the story has been told 2 or 3 times, you all know. The finger of the king is cut, and he says, whatever happens, happens for the good. And why he was put into jail, whatever happens, happens for good. The king laughed and went for the forest. Correct? So such a person is not disturbed by man or apman. So he is called Jit Atma Prasantasya. ज्ञान विज्ञान तृप्त आत्मा ही कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रिय युक्त इति उच्यते योगी समलोष्ट्रमा कंचना. He has got the knowledge, I am soul and I am part and parcel of super soul Krishna, and his Vigyan, he can experience that wonderful relationship with Krishna, and his Tript Atma is completely satisfied. Kutasto is he is established in the spiritual realm. He is established as I am soul. He is established with I am a servant of the super soul, which is Jitendriya. He has got complete control over his senses. He is not attracted by the object of the senses. He is attracted by the beauty of the super Lord. Yukta he is connected to the Supreme Lord. Because he is connected to the Supreme Lord, such a person is called yogi. Yoga means to get connected. Soul gets connected to the super soul is called yoga. And for him, sama lostra, lostra asma kanchana. For him, whether it's gold, it has to be used in Krishna's service. Whether it is stone, it has to be used in Krishna's service. Gold, we can make a beautiful crown, and stone, we can make a wonderful vigra out of it. So in this way, he is not disturbed. Oh, this gold, I will take it and make money. Or he is not disturbed. It is a stone, lost. He is not disturbed. If it is stone, it's of no use through it. But he will see everything in connection with God and use it in service of God. So in this way, he is always in bliss and he is satisfied supremely. He always knows God has given him more than what he deserved. God has been very kind to him and he's not bothered about the all kinds of pains and gains given to him by Krishna. He's just smiling. Krishna has done so much for me. Suhirin mitra ari udasina madhyastha dvesha bandhasu sadhushu api cha papishu samabuddhi vishishyate. Whether it's a friend or whether it's a well-wisher or an enemy, he is not disturbed. He says everybody as a brother, as a friend, as a child of Krishna. Madhyastha, he is not disturbed. He's not envious or envious. Somebody is doing better than him. He already knows Krishna has been kind to him, and Krishna is kind to him. Let him. Krishna is promoting him. Wow, that's good. He's neutral. He's a saint, and to his saint to for him, somebody who's a saint is also a child of Krishna, and who is a sinner is also child of Krishna. Only thing is, one is an obedient child and one is disobedient child. So in this way, such a elevated soul in an advanced stage is supremely happy. That has been explained. Oh Krishna, how does one begin to practice Ashtanga Yoga? I'm so excited about it. I want to know about it, oh Krishna. Oh, you want to know about this, huh? You want to control your mind by Ashtanga Yoga. You still want to go to forest. I will tell you what it means, and I will make you tell that this is not possible. Oh, you want to know about this Ashtanga Yoga? Okay, okay. Now, what is this Ashtanga Yoga? How to do this Ashtanga Yoga will be explained by Krishna, and this will really shake Arjuna, and you will understand this is not possible. And this is very nicely explained by Krishna, the stages of Ashtanga Yoga from slok 10 to 32, and Arjuna will be totally devastated. He said, oh, this process cannot do. And Krishna says, yes, I knew you will not be able to do. Just surrender to the spiritual master and follow his instruction. Yeah. Yesha prasadat Bhagavad prasadat. So let us go through this. Phase 2, practicing of Ashtanga Yoga, basic practices, recommendation and goals of Ashtanga Yoga has been explained in slok 10 to 17 very nicely. So we'll go a little quickly, and it's so interesting also. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitha ekakiyat chit atma nirashir aparigraha. A yogi should concentrate on the Supreme. He should live alone in a secluded place, go to the forest and control his mind. He should be free from desires and feeling of possessiveness. Aparigrahi. Grahi means to possessive. Aparigrahi means free from the mood of possessiveness. Find a place which is suitable. Socho desha pratistapya stiram ashanam atmana nati uchirtham nati nicham chalai ajina kushotaram. In the previous slok 10, it was mentioned what should be the state of the mind. Okay. And what should be the, how the body should be fit and the mind should be fit. And now the place should be fit. That is mentioned in this slok. To begin the practice, one should go to a sacred place, lay kusha grass. Kusha grass is a special grass which has got a property to it's a pure grass, and so pure it's said to be the air of Varahadev. When he came, he was shaking himself to remove the extra water from the ocean. And so the air which came out of the body of Varaha is still growing as kusha grass. So it's very pure. It removes all the insects and reptiles. And above that, one has to keep a deer skin, a chalai. That means deer skin has to be put, because deer skin has got a property to repel snakes and insects. Otherwise, when we are sitting, ant may come and go inside and trouble us. And above the deer skin, keep a soft silk cloth. So in this way, the deer's pointed air of the deer skin, of the soft deer skin, will not agitate the yogi. And the seat should be neither too high. If it is too high, the wind will blow, and when it's too low, water will come. So it should not be too high or too low. So in this way, तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यथा चित् इन्द्रियः क्रिया उपाविश्यासने युञ्ज्याद् योग आत्मा विशुद्धये. Yogi should sit firmly on the kushagrass, deer skin, and the cloth, and practice yoga to purify his heart and mind by controlling the senses and fixing his mind on one point. So the body should be fixed, the place should be, body should be fit, the place should be fit, and the mind should be super fit. And slok 13. Samam kaya shiro griham dharyan achalam stira samprekshaya nasika agram swam disha cha avalokaya. He should hold his body straight, kaya, and backbone, neck, and the head should be in the straight line. Kaya siro griham. Dharyam achalam stira. It should be straight. It should not shake. And samprapcha nasigragam. Once attained that, one should stare steadily at the tip, nasik agram, the tip of the nose, and disha cha avalokayan. You should fix it up in the direction. And practice. Prashantatma vigata bhira brahmacharya vrata stita mana samyamya machitto yukta asita matapara. Thus, in the secluded place with a fit body and a fit mind and a super fit mind, one is concentrating on the tip of the nose. The mind is subdued, devoid of fear, vita, bhaya, raga, and completely free from sex thoughts, thought of wife, children, etc., etc. And he should meditate upon Krishna. Matchita, manasamyama machito, totally in Krishna. Yukta asita matpara, and obtaining Krishna as the ultimate goal. In this way, a practitioner takes up the process of Ashtanga Yoga. Krishna is saying, Arjuna is interestingly hearing, and now comes the point of mind. That is a time when Arjuna says, oh, this is difficult. And Krishna is smiling. Yunjan evam sat atmana yogi niyata manasa Santim nirvana paramam samstam adhikachati. After practicing constant control of mind and body for a long time, the mystic yogi attains the kingdom of God. He attains that happiness which people in the kingdom of God attains. He achieves that happiness. Krishna, God is experiencing, and people of the kingdom of God experiences super happiness. Wow, Arjuna said, this is easy. I have a fit body. I can do all that. I have done that. Are there any more regulations for this practice, Krishna? Oh, yes. Very nice. Krishna is coming to the point where Arjuna will say, no, this is not possible. And all the doubts of Arjuna will be smashed in chapter 6. He'll be fixed up. So the 5 doubts were there, and the 5 reasons for not fighting was there. 5 reasons for not taking up Krishna consciousness will be smashed. The first reason of compassion was smashed in chapter 2. The second reason of enjoyment was smashed in chapter 3. Third reason of it will be sinful act was smashed in 4th chapter, and in the 5th reason of breaking the family tradition is smashed in the 4th reason is smashed in the 5th chapter, and the 5th reason of indecision, confusion, not coming to a conclusion is smashed in the chapter 6. Fixed up, be a yogi, best of the yogi. Nati ashnatastu yoga asti, na chaik antam anasnata, na chati swapna silasya jagrata naivacha arjuna. There is no possibility for one to become a yogi. Arjuna, you are asking, is there any regulation? Yes, the regulation is one should not eat too much or eat too less. One should not sleep too much or one should not sleep less. If one is doing that, one not following this regulation, one cannot be a yogi. Then who is a yogi, Krishna? Yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheteshu karmasu, yukta swapna bodhasya, yoga bhavati dukkaha. One who is regulated in his habit, is neither eats too much or too less. He is eating to the exact limit. He doesn't sleep too much or too less. He's sleeping to the right amount. One who sleeps less than very less, he becomes crazy. One who sleeps too much becomes lazy. 6 hours is good for a conditioned soul to be fed. One who eats too much becomes lazy, and one who doesn't eat too much, he becomes lazy. Become, and creation means just a time for upgrading our skills, recreation. So that is vihara. That also should not be too much. Too much of learning the skills and etc. 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 Just enough. Just enough. And too much of work and no play makes John dull. So that's too much of work or too less work. So we should be equal. We should not cross the limit or we should not underplay. We should eat in the right amount, sleep the right amount, work the right amount, recreation the right amount. And in this way, one will be able to have a fit body and a mind, and such a person is actually will remove all his pain and he will be a real yogi. More regulations, perfection of Ashtanga Yoga, various aspects and realizations of perfection. So that was a regulation, not to eat too much or too. So now Ashtanga Yoga, the benefits of Ashtanga Yoga will be explained. The higher stage of Ashtanga Yoga. Want to know more about regulations, Arjuna? Yes. Yada vina viniyatam chittam atmani eva vati isthate nishpriha sarva kame bhyo yukta iti uchate tada. When a yogi is in a higher stage of Ashtanga Yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in spiritual realm, transcendence, and devoid of any material desires, he is said to be well established in yoga. He is very peaceful, he is happy to be connected to the super soul. Yata dipo nivatastho ningate sopama smrita yota chittasya yunjata yogam atmanah. Yata dipo nivatastha. His mind is like a candlelight flame in a windless play. Yata dipo nivatasto, which is very steady. Similarly, the yogi mind is controlled and is always steady in meditation of the Supreme Person of Godhead, Shirodakshay Vishnu, Paramatma. And he is peaceful. Wow, Krishna, please describe the perfection of yoga. Krishna, I want to know about yoga. Oh, really? You want to know more about yoga? Okay, I will tell you and I will make you understand this yoga. You will not be able to do. Yatro paramam te chittam nirodham yoga sevaya yatra chev atmanam pashyan atmani tushyati. That state one is totally engrossed in meditating the beautiful, super beautiful Sachidananda Vigraha divine, eternal, blissful form of the Lord is called Samadhi. One's mind is completely restrained from material activities. He's looking at the Lord and is, I mean, so beautiful that he's not interested with anything else. He's so the fragrance coming from the Lord body is uh, so captivating that he doesn't bother about the fragrance outside. The breathing and smiling of the Lord is so full of melodious sound that he's not bothered to hear. And the smile and the shaking of the head which produces the breeze which touches is so much of bliss that is not bothered to touch anything else in this world. And in this way he can taste the beauty of Krishna. In this stage of perfection, samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material activities. Perfection is characterized by one's ability to see oneself by pure mind. The mind is purified, one can experience soul and relish and rejoice himself. In this way, Tushtati is so happy that wow, he has done the right thing. Arjuna is excited. Wow! But wait, Arjuna, you will understand what is this Ashtanga Yoga. You have the ghost of doubt that will be clarified. Sukham at yantikam yattada buddhi grahyam ati indriyam veti yatra na chayvayam sthita chalati tatvata. Wow, in that joyous state, one is situated in boundless, ever increasing spiritual happiness. Tita chalati tatvata. Ultimate happiness, which is ever increasing, is being experienced by the intelligence and the spiritual senses. Purified intelligence, purified mind, and purified false ego. Wow, so interesting. I want to know. And more, oh, really, Arjuna. Yalabdva chaparam labham manyate nadikam tata yashmin stito na dukkhena gurun api vichalyata. Establish thus yam labdva chaparam labham. One is established in this state, never departs from truth. He always wants to be connected to the supreme truth. Upon gaining this, one thinks there is nothing to be achieved. He said, what more I require? I don't want anything more. Like Dhruva says, I came here to Madhuvan, Yamuna, and with the condition that, with the aim that, with the need that I should get wealth which is greater than wealth of my father Uttanupad's father Swayambhu Manu's father Brahmaji, great grandfather Brahma. But now that I can see the lotus feet of Vishnu, I am so much in bliss and I understand the happiness which is coming from meditating upon your Sachidananda Vigraha Swarup is so much that the happiness which will get from the great grandfather's wealth is insignificant. You are like a big diamond, and the happiness from great becoming a Brahma or greater than Brahma is like a broken piece of glass. Glass also is sometimes valuable, but a broken piece of glass is insignificant, of no use. So that much is the difference in happiness. So he doesn't want that anything, no more material happiness. Tam vid yadukka samyoga viyogam yoga sanjanta. So in this way, such a person being situated in such a position, yogi never is shaken. He doesn't want anything. Even in the midst of the greatest difficulty, he knows that he has achieved, he has got more than what he deserves. This is real freedom from all miseries arising from the material contact. Body may be in a painful situation, mind is peaceful, and the soul is blissful. So that is what a yogi is experiencing. Wow, Arjuna says, great. How can one attain that perfection? Ashtanga Yoga. Very interesting, very interesting. So, methods of attaining that higher stage is going to be explained. 44, 24, 25, and 26. Arjuna is eager to hear about it. Oh, really? Let let you try understand this process very nicely, Arjuna, and you will know this process is not meant for you. Krishna is bringing Arjuna to that point. He's not forcing him. Krishna is helping Arjuna to analyze and understand why such a thing process is not good for him. सा निश्चयेन युक्ताभ्यो योग अनिर्विना चेतस संकल्प प्रभावान् कामं त्यक्ता सर्वामशेषता मनसा वेनिन्द्रियाग्रामं विनीयाम या समान्ततः. Gradually, step by step, one becomes situated in trance, and by the means of intelligence, one sustained by full conviction that spiritual life is better than material life. And in this way, he is very steady, gradually. Sane sane uparamida buddhi dhriti grihtaya atma samstam mana kritva na kinchit api chintaya. And he's gradually becoming, using his intelligence to understand that spiritual life is better than material life. And thus, he is fixed on the meditation of the supersoul and does not think about anything else. Yato yato nischalati, yato nischalati, manasa chanchalam astiram, tato niyam yetam, atmani eva vasamniya. Again and again, the mind tries to go to the filthy, material, sense gratificatory thoughts, but intelligence immediately checks him, says, it is not useful. Spiritual happiness is better. He brings it back by practice. And he controls himself with a strong, steady mind. Thus, he attains a platform, spiritual realm, by experiencing the super soul. He becomes expert in seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead everywhere. Prasanta manasahi enam yoginam sukham uttamam upaiti santarajasam brahma bhuta kalmasha. One's mind is fixed upon me will experience the pleasure even before he has attained the perfection. Arjuna, he is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity is spiritual, he is eternal, blissful, and thus he has got all the knowledge how to serve Krishna. Thus, a self-controlled yogi becomes from all material contamination. Arjuna, he is experiencing spiritual bliss. He is not bothered about the pain of the body, and he is peaceful in the mind and blissful in his Yum jam evam sadatmana yogi vigata kalmasha sukhena brahma sansparsham. Atyantam Sukham Ashnate. He achieves that supreme happiness, the happiness which Krishna is experiencing. And sometimes they experience more than that also. Yeah, that's why Krishna takes the comes in Kali Yuga as a yogi, as a bhakta, as a uh, Brajvasi, as a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How come a devotee is experiencing more happiness than me? Sarva bhutastam atmanam sarva bhutani chatmani ikshate yoga yuktatma sarvatra samadarshana. And he is so much in love of God that he can see God everywhere. He can see in every particle God, and he can see in every body the super soul. In this way, he can understand the earth is coming from my dear God. The wind, water is coming from my dear God. He has the fire is coming from my dear God Krishna. And in this way, he is everywhere, all the time, all the place, in all circumstances, is seeing, experiencing Krishna, and is experiencing higher and higher levels of bliss. Yo yam pashvati sarvatra sarvam chamai pashyati tasyam na pranashyami sa chame na pranashyati. And such a person who is in love with me, him, I am in love with him. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, and nor he is never lost to me. He sees everything as Shirodaksha Vishnu. Krishna is within every person, and as Mahavishnu, everything is at a Virat Swarup, everything is in Krishna's body. In this way, I am not lost, and he is never lost to me. In this way, I love him, and because he loves me. I always loved him, but now he started loving me more than everything else. I start loving him more and more and more. In this way, a perfect yogi acts and thinks. Now, the action of the perfect yogi, slok 31 and 32. Arjuna is, wow, beautiful. It is better than fighting. Now, Krishna will come to the point. Sarva bhuta stitam yo mam bhajati ekatvam asita sarvata vrat amano api sa yogi may varte. Yogi engages in worship of the super soul, knowing that Krishna and the super soul is one, and remains completely fixed in Krishna consciousness in all circumstances, whether favorable or unfavorable. Every day Mangalarti, every day 16 months, every day falling for regular people. Atmo pamena sarvatra samam pashyati yo Arjuna sukham vayadi vadukam sayogi paramamata. Whether favorable or unfavorable condition, he is fixed in Krishna consciousness. One in Samadhi has an equal vision, Arjuna, but a yogi should also practice feeling for others' welfare. Through his own experience of happiness and distress, he should help others to experience this spiritual bliss. He is the best yogi when he does not desire perfection in yoga for his personal benefit, but he tries to benefit others. Again, Krishna will tell, I love that devotee who serves, who teaches Bhagavad Gita to others. Here, so Krishna loves a devotee who preaches about Krishna consciousness. He is happy and he wants to make others happy. So that is why we should take up the process of Krishna consciousness seriously and make others also devotees. Be happy, make others happy. Necessity of controlling mind. Like in the beginning, I said the whole game is to purify mind, purify intelligence, and purify the false ego. The subtle body has to be purified. That is what now Krishna is coming to, and that is what will shake Arjuna. Arjuna Vacha, equilibrium. Yo yam yogastaya pro Sutta Samina Madhusudana Etasyaham na pashyami chanchalabhata stitam stira. Hey Madhusudana, you are a destroyer of the enemy called Madhu, the demon called Madhu. The yoga practice which you told, oh Krishna, I cannot do this yoga. I cannot do this yoga that you are speaking of because my mind is restless, unsteady, Krishna. You say that I must empathize with happiness and distress of all the living beings. I should be equal. I can empathize with friends and relatives, but not with those who are envious and criticize me. I can feel for Yudhishthir and I cannot feel for Duryodhana. If you tell me to use discrimination, knowing that super soul is in all being, you should know that my mind is flickering and hard to control. It's impossible for me. Wow, Krishna says, yes, this is what I wanted you to come to understand. So forget the idea of going to the forest and becoming a sannyas. Okay, but Krishna is playing with Arjuna. Oh, Arjuna, what is the problem? Why do you find it so difficult to control the mind? The mind is the rein and the intelligence is the driver of the chariot of the body. Knowing this, you should control the mind with the intelligence. So what is the problem, Arjuna? You want to go to the forest and practice Ashtanga Yoga. What is the problem? Oh, Krishna, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayureva sudushkaram. But, oh Krishna, my mind is restless. It chants and agitates the intelligence. It is overpowering the intelligence. It wishes to control the intelligence. The mind is not coming under the control of the intelligence. Krishna, you telling me to control the mind with intelligence rather than controlling the mind. The intelligence becomes the servant of the mind. Mind is so powerful, Krishna. Just like a man who is ill, the doctor gives him a medicine. But the medicine fights with the disease and cures him. But if the disease becomes strong, it does not care for the medicine. COVID, virus, corona, vaccine, and the virus is becoming more powerful. It doesn't care for the vaccine. Similarly, the mind, impure mind is not bothered about the intelligence. Intelligence is subdued, Krishna. How can I control the mind, Krishna? How can I control the mind? Don't tell me this path. I will not be able to do, Krishna. And Krishna is smiling. I told you before, only why in the mind, not. So Krishna is telling about Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Now Krishna is convinced that Ashtanga is not for Arjuna, and from here, whatever Krishna is going to speak about Nishkam Karma Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Okay. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. Sri means beautiful. Bhagavan means the most important person. So Vyasdev is saying Sri Bhagavan Vacha means an important, beautiful, important person is speaking. That means we should pay utmost attention. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Asamsayam Mahabaho Manodhir Nigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Kauntaya Vairagena cha Grihati. Abhyasa, practice Vairagya with Vairagya. Vairagya means not with detachment. Abhyasa means practice and detachment. Practice and detachment. O Mahabahu, O mighty armed one, Arjuna, Mahabahu, you have powerful arms and you have conquered the enemies in the battle many times. You have even conquered and satisfied Lord Shiva. But that is not so great, Arjuna. Conquering the enemy, impure mind. If you can conquer the impure mind, the crushed shell of all the warriors, using the weapon of yoga, then I will call you Mahabhav. But don't worry, Arjuna. You are son of Kunti, Kaunteya, my auntie Kunti. I will help you. Do not be discouraged. There is no doubt what you say is correct. Still, one should practice keeping one's mind on the pleasure of spiritual platform and also on the defects of sense gratification. Vairagya. Practicing like this and being aloof from the sense object, one will be able to control the mind. Attachment by practicing, attachment to Krishna by practicing, yeah, abhyas, and vairagya, detachment from sense gratification. Attachment to spiritual activity, detachment to material activities. Continuously, when we do that, we will be able to control mind. Krishna's conclusion, mind must be controlled. Whole game is to control mind. Asamyat atmana yoga dush prapha iti me mati vas yatma tu yat ata sakya apnatum upayata. Even when the disease is advanced, as you said, Arjuna, if one takes proper medicine again and again, again and again, under the care of a qualified doctor, one will be cured. Corona will go. Yes. Similarly, by practicing giving up the desire for sense gratification, vairagya with material activities, and practicing attachment to spiritual activities, one will be able to catch the mind and keep it in one's feast. You are Mahabaho, so you can control the mind and keep it in your feast with your great power, Arjuna. If a person does not develop practice, attachment to spiritual activities and detachment to material activities, it is impossible to control the mind. But you can do it, Arjuna. Wow. So in this way, Krishna is saying to Arjuna, you should work with detachment to fruits, material gains, and work to please Krishna. So in this way, wonderfully, Krishna has removed all the doubts. The 5 reasons for not fighting is now eradicated. Now Arjuna is ready to take up Bhakti Yoga. That means Arjuna is ready to surrender to the spiritual master and do what the spiritual master is going to say. Wow. Actually, the whole Bhagavad Gita is over at this point, but still, yeah, the beauty of Bhagavad Gita will be explained because Krishna wants Arjuna to become the brand ambassador. So he should know what is the product bhakti. So talking of bhakti, the beauty of bhakti will be explained chapter 7 till 12. Wow. So Arjuna's inquiry about the faith of a fallen yogi is explained. Arjuna explains, okay, what will happen if somebody does Ashtanga yoga or in the Bhakti yoga, if somebody falls down, what happens to him? You are saying so much about bhakti, bhakti, bhakti. Let us see what happens if a bhakti yoga falls down. Arjuna vacha ya ayati shraddhayopeto yoga chalati manasa aprapya yoga samsiddhim kam gatim Krishna gacchati. Oh Krishna, you said that one who is practicing renunciation and enduring properly gets yoga. But what is the situation of one who endures half-heartedly? He has faith in the process and he practices, but not hard enough, Krishna. He's not a cheater, but he's casual, he's not serious. And due to lack of renunciation, his mind is deviated after a short time. He is one step above the beginner and he's not yet completely graduated, and he leaves the body. What is his destination, Krishna? You are talking so much about Bhakti Yoga, Nishkam Karma Yoga. I will not do Ashtanga Yoga, but tell me about a person who follows my path every day, Mangalarti, but if he does not take this process, what will happen to him? Kaschinno bhaya vibarastas chinna abharam eva nashyati apratishto mahabhavo vimuda brahmanapati. Actually, Arjuna is asking this question, and Krishna is very happy because with this question, Krishna will again glorify Bhakti Yoga. Oh Krishna, he has already given up Nishkam Karma. He does not want to go to heaven, but he has given up his yoga, so he is not able to get that liberation. Thus, does he become lost and perish like a cloud, a riven cloud, without no position in the sphere, in Akash? Krishna Chetam Arhasi Asheshata Tadanya Sanyas Asya Chetanahi Upapadhyate. This is my doubt, Krishna. You are Madhusudana. Kill the demon of doubt as you killed the demon Madhu and became Madhusudana. Please dispel it completely. Other than you, no one else can destroy this doubt. Krishna, Madhusudana, yeah. So in this way, very nicely, Arjuna is putting up this particular doubt. This is very nicely going to be explained by Krishna. Actually, Arjuna is now asking, you are saying, what will happen if he misguides everybody to become a sannyasi? But what if he takes up bhakti and people are following the bhakti yoga and still are not able to achieve complete success? So what will happen to such followers who have been following Arjuna? But Krishna is very happy. The glory of bhakti is going to come. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Sri means beautiful, and Bhagavan is the most important person. Vyas Muni is again and again saying Sri Bhagavan Vacha means the most important beautiful person is speaking. That means we should pay full attention. Patana eva mutra vinashastasya vidyate nahi kalyana kritkasche durgatim tat gacchati. Oh Arjuna, such a person is never meets distractions in this world nor in the spiritual world. Nor anything is ever lost. He gets both the spiritual and material benefits in its due course. Because whatever spiritual activity one does is collected in the spiritual bank, in his eternal account. Time cannot destroy that account. Even the body will be destroyed. If he has done 4%, next life he will get a situation where he can start from 5%. When one starts on this auspicious path, my friend, he is never overcome by evil. Very soon he will again take up the process. Prapya punya kritam lokam ushitva shasvati samah suchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashta abhijayate. His destination depends on what kind of desire he had when he deviated. That desire will carry him. With the potency of his yoga, he will achieve his desire and he goes to the pious planet and stays there until his desire becomes satisfied. he develops this taste for sense gratification, and in that life he takes up the process of Krishna consciousness more seriously. He is either born in a rich family or a religious family or in an aristocratic family, and now he will not do the mistake we did in the previous life, Arjuna, and in this life he will take it very seriously, Arjuna. Atava yoga nameva kule bhavati dhimatam etadhi durlabhataram loke janma yadadrisham. That he will be qualified to again practice yoga. This occurs by the potency of his previous nature. So if one who has not practiced strongly, he will get a heavenly result. And this is the destination for someone who is not serious in his bhakti yoga, is not an advanced in his yoga. However, a advanced yogi who again does not achieve the destination, spiritual world, he will be born in a religious family, a transcendentalist family, with a great wisdom, and such a birth is rare, Arjuna. He will attain that rare birth. Right from the birth, he plays Mirdanga, he drinks Charnamrit, in the mother's womb, and he honors Prasad in mother's womb, and he's playing Mirdanga as if he played for many lifetimes. He learns Bhagavad Gita as if he knows it from many lifetimes. Tatratam buddhi samyogam labate purvam dehikam yat tate cha tato guya samsiddho kurunandana. After such a birth, he revives his divine consciousness of his previous life and again endures for perfection. This will not happen with Sakam Karma Yoga, or this will not happen with Dhyan Yogi. This will not happen with a Gyan Yogi. This facility is only for Bhakti Yogi, Arjuna. Bhakti Yogi. Wow. Purva abhyasena taneva hiryate hi avaso apisha jijansur api yogasya shabda brahmati vartate. Due to his previous practice, his mind is automatically attracted to Bhakti Yoga. Since his fault was that he was casual in his previous life, now he will be very serious. He will be attracted to the sound, the conch shell, blowing of the conch shell. He will be attracted to the wonderful dealings of the devotees. He will be attracted to the spiritual ambience. Prayatanadyata yogi samsudho kilbisha anika janma samsiddha tato yati param gatim. Now he tries very hard and puts all his energy, mind, intelligence, bodily power, speaking power into his practice. And this is the difference between this person now and his last life. In this life, he is very serious and sincere. In the previous life, he was casual and not bothered. He then becomes purified from all contaminations and comes to the platform of liberation. Wow. 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 That is the faith of a fallen yogi. He will get another chance, a second chance, and he takes it very seriously. A yogi is greater than tapasvi, jnani and karmi. That's why the process of bhakti yoga is better than tapasvi, jnani and others. Tapasvi will not be able to carry whatever he did. Karmi, he may have crores of rupees in the bank, body gone, all the rupees gone. He cannot claim the money from the banker again. Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi, jnanibhyo api mato adhika, karmibhyo adhika yogi, tashmad yogi baba Arjuna. That's why I become a yogi, a bhakti yogi, Arjuna. Thus, a bhakti yogi is greater than tapasvi, who performs fast and austerity. He is better than a jnani, yogi who meditates on impersonal feature of the Supreme and is greater than a karmi who works with material desires. Therefore, Arjuna in all circumstances become a bhakti yogi, bhakti yogi, bhakti yogi, bhakti yogi. That is my mat. योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेरन्तरात्मनां श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां सामयुक्ततमः. Of all the yogis, one who abides in me with great faith by constantly thinking of me, and he who renders pure loving service to me is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. And these are none other than gopis. In the gopis, the 108 gopis are the greatest. In that 108, the 8 are the greatest. In that 8, Radharani is the greatest of all the yogi. And Krishna is remembering, you become such a wonderful yogi. Yogi namapi sabesha. Madgatarantaratma. Bhakti yogi is the greatest, and Bhakti yogi is the greatest, and because they are connected to the greatest, that is Bhagwan. So become a bhakta, take up bhakti, be connected to Bhagavan. Bhakta, bhakti, Bhagavan. And make your life successful. Be happy and make others succeed. Wow, Krishna, wow. Bhakti yoga, even it done imperfectly, one gets a chance, whereas others don't get chance. And if we do it perfectly, we'll be happy in this lifetime and make others happy and go to the spiritual realm and be always happy. Wow, I want to know more about Bhakti because you want me to be a brand ambassador of Bhakti Yogi, Yadyad Achate Shreshtas. So tell me so that I can sell the product called Bhakti very nicely. Yes, Arjuna, from chapter 7 to 12, I'll be speaking about Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and become a great ambassador and become a good devotee, make others devotees. Yadyad Achate Shreshtas. With this wonderful practice, inspire others to take up this process. Be happy and make others happy. In this way, Krishna is very nicely explaining that Bhakti Yoga is the best, and know more about Bhakti will be told by Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, thank you, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. Krishna bless you all. Yeah. Okay. So today we saw Dhyan Yoga and okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you very much. Any questions at this stage? Yes, tell me. I'll go to escape, exit. Okay, 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 okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So from tomorrow we will see Bhakti Yoga.